Welcome back to Roots and Roasts, where expert plant care meets proven technique. Today, we're diving into one of the oldest, most familiar, and still one of the most effective growing methods on Earth, soil-based growing. This is the first video in our 8-part growing method series, where we'll break down every major system, from hydroponics to aquaponics to vertical farming. So be sure to subscribe and follow along. Soil-based growing is the foundation of nearly all traditional horticulture. It means cultivating plants in natural or amended soil, whether that's in your backyard, a raised garden bed, or a pot on your windowsill. But what most people call dirt is actually a living, dynamic system. Good soil isn't inert, it's alive. It's made up of 5 key components: structure, nutrients, microorganisms, moisture, and air. Each one plays a vital role. Structure refers to the physical texture, the blend of sand, silt, and clay that gives soil its body. The ideal is loam, a balanced mix that drains well but still retains moisture and nutrients. Nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium come from decaying organic matter, compost, leaf litter, and manure, and are absorbed by plant roots through ionic exchange. Healthy soil teems with microbial life, bacteria, fungi, protozoa. These break down organic matter and unlock nutrients, forming symbiotic relationships with roots. Mycorrhizal fungi, for example, extend root systems, helping plants access water and phosphorus. Good soil holds water, but not too much. It should drain excess while retaining enough for consistent root access. Air pockets are equally important. Roots need oxygen to function, especially in container systems where compaction happens faster. Soil-based growing is not just the most common method, it's also the most versatile. With the right soil blend and drainage, you can grow almost anything. Let's break it down by plant type and where they thrive best. Start with houseplants. Soil allows for consistent moisture and slow nutrient absorption, perfect for tropicals like rubber trees, Ficus elastica, love loamy soil with slight moisture. Pothos, Epipremnum aureum, tolerate drier spells but thrive in airy, organic-rich mix. Snake plants, Dracaena trifasciata, prefer gritty soil with excellent drainage. For vegetables, soil depth and fertility are key. Go with tomatoes, heavy feeders that demand nutrient-rich, compost-amended loam. Carrots need loose, sandy soil to form straight roots. Kale grows best in slightly acidic, well-drained beds with high organic content. Herbs thrive in well-draining soil and moderate fertility. Perfect for small space growing. Parsley prefers moist, rich loam. Oregano tolerates rocky, poor soil once established. Thyme thrives in gritty, well-drained soil with full sun. And of course, flowering plants. Most classic bloomers love soil that balances moisture with drainage. Hibiscus needs nutrient-dense soil and consistent watering indoors. Roses thrive in deep, slightly acidic loam with strong drainage. Geraniums, perfect for containers, require light, porous soil that dries between waterings. Soil-based systems allow flexibility, whether you're growing edible crops or ornamental showstoppers. With the right mix, container, and placement, the possibilities are nearly endless. To grow strong, healthy plants in soil, you need to understand what goes into a great mix. Not all soil is created equal. If your plant is struggling, it's often not the lighting, it's the soil blend. Soil is the plant's foundation. It's where roots breathe, feed, and anchor. And whether you're planting in a raised bed or a terracotta pot, getting the structure right makes the difference between thriving and surviving. Let's break that down. Organic potting soil gives you bulk and basic structure. Compost feeds the soil life and delivers slow-release nutrients. Perlite or pumice adds drainage and prevents compaction. Cocoa coir or peat moss holds moisture without going soggy. This blend is ideal for most houseplants, herbs, and flowering containers. If you're working with raised beds or outdoor gardens, test your native soil first. Clay heavy. Add coarse sand and compost. Too sandy? Blend in compost and topsoil to retain water and nutrients. You're building a root-friendly biome, not just filling a hole. Soil-based growing remains the most trusted method, and for good reason. Whether you're a beginner planting your first herb or a seasoned grower building a backyard food forest, soil offers a level of flexibility and forgiveness that's hard to beat. With soil, you can start immediately. No pumps, no grow lights, no calibrating nutrient solutions. Just a pot, the right mix, and a plant. It's ideal for first-timers who want to focus on the plant, not the process. Compared to hydroponics or aeroponics, soil requires minimal upfront investment. A basic mix and composted amendments can go a long way, especially for herbs, greens, and indoor plants. Soil acts as a buffer. It holds nutrients in reserve and allows plants to draw what they need. Organic matter and microbes help regulate uptake, making it harder to over-fertilize or burn roots, something beginners often struggle with in synthetic systems. Miss a watering? Add too much compost? Soil gives you margin for error. It holds moisture longer, resists quick pH shifts, and supports root resilience. That makes it perfect for home growers, especially in unpredictable conditions. Soil-based growing is forgiving, but it's not foolproof. If your plant's leaves are yellowing, roots are mushy, or bugs are flying around, the problem usually starts below the surface. Overwatered or compacted soil creates the perfect breeding ground for pests like fungus gnats, tiny flies that lay eggs in moist soil, aphids, sapsuckers that cluster on new growth, mealybugs, white cottony pests that hide at the stem base. They're not just annoying, they drain plant energy and open the door to disease. Let the top 1 to 2 inches dry before watering again. Add sand or gravel as a dry mulch to deter egg laying. Use neem oil spray or sticky traps for flying adults. Bottom water to keep topsoil dry. One of the biggest mistakes in soil-based growing? Using garden soil in a pot. It's too dense, holds water like a sponge, and suffocates roots. Always make sure your containers have drainage holes, essential for flushing excess salts and moisture. Risers or pot feet to keep air flowing underneath. A loose, structured mix, use perlite, pumice, or bark. Top dress with compost or worm castings every 4 to 6 weeks. Use a balanced organic fertilizer like 555 or October 10th, 10 in spring and summer. Or apply compost tea monthly for a microbe-rich boost. So yes, soil has its quirks, but every issue has a solution. If you treat your soil as a living system, you'll spot problems faster, fix them easier, and help your plants thrive long-term. Even with the perfect soil blend, watering and feeding make or break your plant's health. It's not just about how much, but how often, how deep, and what's in the water. The number 1 killer of houseplants? Overwatering. To water properly, follow the 2-inch rule. Stick your finger in. If the top 2 inches are dry, it's time. No guesswork. When you water, do it slowly. Let moisture reach the root zone, then drain fully. Avoid shallow sips. Deep watering builds deeper roots. Pause to screenshot or jot this down. Soil holds nutrients, but not forever. Most potting mixes start strong, then fade after 4 to 6 months. That's when targeted feeding makes the difference. Here's what works best. For leafy houseplants, balanced organic fertilizer, like 10-10-10 or 555. For flowering plants, switch to a bloom booster, higher phosphorus, like 484. For herbs, light monthly compost tea or worm casting extract. If you're starting fresh, don't cut corners on your soil. That $4 bag of peat-heavy mix from the hardware store, it may hold water, but it often lacks structure, drainage, and nutrients. Instead, go with a cocoa coir-based alternative. It's more sustainable, better for moisture control, and naturally pest resistant. Add perlite, worm castings, and compost, and you got a living, breathing root system. Soil-based growing is timeless for a reason. It gives back what you put in, and with the right care, it becomes a living partner in your plant's success. Whether you're growing herbs, houseplants, or heirlooms, this is your foundation. If this helped, subscribe to Roots and Roasts, and don't stop here. This is just the first in our 8-part growing method series. Next up, hydroponics. Learn how to grow with water, not soil. Faster, cleaner, and right from your windowsill.